Do they have anybody yet? Any suspects that they've named in Kansas City? People go to celebrate a Super Bowl win, and somebody is it more than one person who was shooting?
We don't know.
Even that's not clear.
Yeah.
Whoever did it, apparently it was just a desire to kill people. There was no other aim. So the usual, of course. You don't care about these people if you don't want to do something about guns. They never explained to me. Never. I'm really going uh, out out here. I'm taking a risk saying this because the answer may be so obvious that it will reflect poorly on me. But I'm willing to do it because I have been discussing this for almost half a century. Whenever I hear common sense gun control, that'll do it. Okay? I'm really into common sense. So I would like to know what law could have been passed that would have rendered any given murder impossible. If a person is an adult, has not stolen the gun, or if they did steal the gun, that certainly, obviously, the laws did nothing about that. There's nothing they can do. They stole a gun. But let's say they bought the gun. What would have prevented them from getting a gun? What law? That's why, since I never get an answer to that, there are background checks. I have a gun, and there was an extensive background check done on me before the gun was delivered to the gun store to be given to me. There are background checks. So I read all the time that at gun shows you can get a gun immediately. I have no idea if that's true, but let's say it's true. Okay, maybe there should be a background check at a gun show. How many murders have been committed by people who got a gun at a gun show? The only thing that you could argue is full confiscation. Make it illegal, as it is essentially, except for a handful of people who are what are called sportsmen, to have guns. But it's not possible. The barn door has been open too long. You can't do that. And by the way, there is truth to the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. People don't want to believe that either. They want to believe that the state will always be a benevolent force. That's what the left believes, because they believe in power. And if you have a gun, they don't have as much power as they want. The state should have all the power. All possibility of armament should be in the state's possession. They're the only ones who should be armed. What you're saying is there's no chance that despicable human beings will ever take over the government. Only good people will run the government. That is why you have to be naive to be a leftist. You have to be a lot of things that are troubling, but that is a criterion. You have to be naive about human nature. You have to live in la la land, in diversity, equity, inclusion land. I want to know who did this horrific thing. The ability of one or two people to ruin things is so an unfair part of the human condition. How few people can destroy everything for so many? What type of human being does it take? To see people celebrating a football game win and then shoot at children. By the way, the same question would apply to shooting at adults. I'm really, really curious. I hope they catch these people because these questions need to be asked. I should say they need to be asked and they need to be answered. Wasn't there some heroic person here who jumped on top of one of the shooters or the shooter? It's very sad. It's very sad on every level. There was a reporter for a local station who was murdered. This woman, a mother of a reporter. She wasn't a reporter.
She was a DJ.
Oh, DJ. Yeah, that's right, a DJ. On a philosophical note, I believe it was her bad luck that she was killed. I don't believe it was God's will. And I'm a very religious person. Deep believer in God. God made a world in which bad things can happen to good people. Otherwise, he would have made us robots. It's interesting how many religious people want to deny that there's an element of luck in life. You're hit by a drunk driver and it was God's will, so it was God's will that the person get drunk and drive as well. It's God's will that this person shoot. God governs the universe, but God doesn't control everything that human beings do. The other thing I think always when this happens is I wish the person is caught. If it's the right person, convicted quickly and then executed. For the full episode of the Dennis Prager Show, go to pragertopia.com, sign up, and become a full member.